Just 11 days before the referendum and the race to convince Australians is ramping up.
This is a very modest request. It's a handout from Indigenous Australians just asking for it to be joined in the spirit of reconciliation so we can walk forward together.
The PM today in the key battleground state of Tasmania.
When you come to terms with your history, when you reach out and you think about others, you feel better about yourself.
Prime Minister just saying that this is a simple proposition, it's a nonsense. And I think most Australians are seeing through that.
Over in Western Australia, the opposition attempting to shore up a state inclined to vote no.
Australians aren't stupid. They instinctively want to help Indigenous Australians, but they know the detail is not there for this great big new bureaucracy that's not going to deliver the outcomes for Indigenous Australians on the ground.
It comes as the latest Guardian Essential poll shows a slight uptick for the Yes campaign for the first time in months. Australians now focusing in on the momentous decision that lies ahead.
The problem with this divisive referendum is the fact that it seeks to create different levels of citizenship, and I can't stand for that.
My message is, if you don't know, give it a go. No one has anything at all to lose from this, and at its heart, the Australian ethos is about having a fair go.
Tarneen Onus Browne is part of the Blak Sovereignty movement. This is a group largely voting no because they don't believe the voice goes far enough. It's also been called the progressive no position. Tarneen is now voting yes and joins us now to explain. Tarneen, what changed your mind?
I have seen lots of misinformation and I've seen neo-Nazis organising on the streets of Melbourne about trans people, about Aboriginal people, about migrants, and I think that it's really scary to see them organising, and they have been spreading lots of misinformation, and I'm really afraid of what a no could look like and what will that mean for First Nations people but other minority groups as well. And I think that it is about time that Aboriginal people have control over our own affairs and what affects us, because we are a strong and proud community.
So it sounds like at the start you thought it was a backward step and now you think it's a powerful step. I'm interested in that change in your thinking.
Yeah, I think there was also lots of questions around our sovereignty and what that means and what it means to be included in a constitution. And I'm not really interested in constitutional recognition, but I am interested in a representative body where we do have power over policies that do affect us, because it is a top-down approach at the moment and these policies are being made on behalf of us rather than us being part of that.
But isn't the whole criticism of the voice from that sort of progressive position that it doesn't have power, that it doesn't implement policy, that actually it's a way of keeping Indigenous Australians silent and compliant?
I honestly think that the voice to Parliament isn't the silver bullet. It's not going to be perfect, but it's up to First Nations people around the country to hold the government to account when they aren't listening to us and when they aren't moving policies that are important to us. And I think that happens, you know, when we join the streets, when we campaign, when we make complaints. I think it does create change. And regardless of if people do agree with this or not, I think that it will have a really powerful position.
The progressive no vote, which you were once a part of, Tarneen, has obviously been a key part of the broader no campaign. You are now an advocate for yes. You say that you voted yes already. But how much damage do you think may have already been done to that campaign?
I think that the racist no campaign is the one that's caused damage. So Peter Dutton and Pauline Hanson's campaign has done so much damage to First Nations people around the country. The values of the progressive no is about how do we get treaty and how do we make substantive change. But I think the thing is as well with the, you know, what I call the racist no campaign is that they are telling mistruths. They're telling us that, you know, we're not capable of looking after our own affairs. They're telling us, you know, like these lies but we know that our health is better when it's in our hands, and we know that we have better outcomes in the legal system because of First Nations legal services. And I think there's something really powerful in that. I think that there's really a powerful position that First Nations people being able to make decisions about our own lives and contribute to that as well.
Well, Tarneen, judging by your T-shirt, there's no doubt which side you're on at the moment. Thank you very much for explaining to us how you got there.
Thank you.